had prepared to go. I had given instructions on how my children will be taken care of. I had given orders on how they will go to school to make sure they are okay. But Papa gave the word. And from that point, my faith came alive. Again, Papa said,
hallelujah, hallelujah. What God cannot do, people of God, what God cannot do. Hallelujah. On November 2022, I woke up from sleep in excruciating pains, and I was rushed to the hospital. On that day, I had an emergency surgery for ovarian cyst. It was a tough battle, but God came through for me. In June 2023, again, I woke up from sleep in excruciating pains at 3 a.m. At 5 a.m., I was rushed again to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, after more checks, I was told I had hernia abdominal adhesions. Hernia abdominal adhesions. I'm sorry. Hernia abdominal adhesions are when the organs in your abdomen come together. So I was in serious pain. After the surgery, I was sent to the ICU, the intensive care unit. There were complications. And a nurse told me, "Do you know NSPPD?" I said, "Yes, but I've never joined." So the nurse in the intensive care unit said, "You have to log on to Pastor Jerry every day." And then I started. On June 30th, 2023, Papa prayed against abdominal adhesions. And I said, "This is me." Because there were complications, and all through this period, they couldn't find what the problem was. But after I got the word from Papa, immediately after the test, the doctors were able to find out what happened. And I gave God the glory. Elroy came through. The sickness was reversed immediately, and I was made whole. On January 25th, 2025, this year, again, I was going about my normal duties and I had pains. I went to the hospital. After more checks, I was told I had umbilical obstruction. So I have a friend who I normally pray with. His name is Jerry. He reached out to Papa on my behalf, and Papa prayed, and he sent the prayer to me on WhatsApp. And I kept using that prayer. I had the surgery again. I was discharged after 6 days. After 5 days, I was readmitted for infection of the surgery site. And I called on the God of Pastor Jerry, and Elroy came through. On August 28, 2025, yet again, I was admitted into the hospital. At this time, I was told I had bowel adhesive obstructions. What this means is that the intestinal organs and the digestive organs had gummed together. No water is coming out, nothing is going in. If I take a sip of water, I will start throwing up. For 2 weeks, I could not take food, I could not take water. At a point, I just told myself, this is it. Again, on the altar of fire, on September 2nd, Pastor Jerry said, "Multiple organ failures is not too big for you, O Lord." Pastor said, "This is not unto death. The sickness is not unto death. You shall have your testimony, and there shall be a shift. You are God from the beginning." This was the turning point in my life. People of God, at this time, I had prepared to go. I had given instructions on how my children will be taken care of. I had given orders on how they will go to school to make sure they are okay. But Papa gave the word. And from that point, my faith came alive. Again, Papa said, "Once have I said it, and twice have I said that power belongs to God." And I said, "Yes, the God of Pastor Jerry will heal me." As at that day, when I asked the surgeon, I said,
What's the plan? What are we going to do? The surgeon said, he doesn't even know that when he goes in, he will look at it and then he will determine what to do. So on September 4, 2025, Papa again said, they said you will not rest. They have been carrying your name, Elroy. And then my faith rose again, and I started praying. I started having hope. I had a surgery again on the 5th of September. What was meant to be one procedure became 2 different surgeries in one and lasted for about 4 hours. They found closed loops and they found twisted loops in my digestive system. I was discharged on the 15th of September. I did not leave the altar. I was still on the altar of fire. On September 26th, Papa said, the God of vengeance shall arise and send back every arrow. He said the word of vengeance at that time reversed my bowel adhesive condition. From that moment onward, the sickness was reversed and I became whole. Papa went on to say, you thought they wounded you, but the glory of God is coming. They thought they conspired against you, but the glory of God is coming. Elroy came through for me. Immediately, Papa gave this word, the pattern of sickness, everything's reversed immediately. As I stand upon this altar, as I stand before Elroy, as I stand before the God of Pastor Jerry, as I stand before Pastor Jerry, I declare on this day that this pattern of sickness is reversed. I decree that it shall not happen again. The Elroy came through for me. God healed me. If not for God, if not for the word that came from Pastor Jerry, I will not be standing here today. When I go home from the hospital, I removed my shoes. I laid outside on the floor. And this was me that just had surgery. And I said, God, I thank you. I came back with my 2 legs. What God cannot do, what God